Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here today with you. So it is a really special day because we have a special guest coming and we're going to be playing with our intuition. So Akasha here with the Infinite Show, and make sure you come over to nanakasha.com and you subscribe so we can send you all the notices of everything we're up to. This is the spiritual weather report for this week. Make sure you check it out, subscribe, or get notifications because I do this every week about the energies. So today what we're going to do in about a half hour is we're going to welcome Donna Stellhorn, who's become a good friend, and I've been working with her to learn astrology and to get insight on using the energies for planning my life, planning my day. And so she has a new course about easy, natural way to read the tarot. So we're going to play with her. And I thought that before that, it would be super, super fun for us to go ahead and play together with some oracle cards. So that's what we're going to do right now. First, I want to remind you, please come and join me for my virtual online retreat and ceremony for the equinox. It's going to be quite amazing. Everything's recorded if you can't come live. However, Christian, DNA, their team are going to come over to our house. We're going to be doing an incredible mind ceremony. We're going to be doing a power animal vision class. We're going to be making cacao or doing a heart opening ceremony. I'm going to take you to the pyramids, all kinds of wonderful stuff. So please, please join us. That's at nanakasha.com/ceremony. And there is already a really wonderful conversation out here on my YouTube channel with Christian about my power animals, about the difference of how they see them and how they're seasonal and how some are with you for life and some come out in the day and some come out at night, and they're tuned more to the cycles of nature. And then we talked about the equinox too. So you want to make sure and check that out. Also, if you're interested in awakening, expanding, developing your psychic abilities, and continuing to increase your abilities in your intuition or your clairvoyance, clairaudience, and your 360 other senses, then we have something new. The Intuition Awakening course is available to you all the time. However, if you would like to take it deeper, you don't have to be a healer, but you can incorporate this into your practice. However, we're going to be doing in 8 weeks both a really awesome 8th dimensional gateway way to get in and read the Akashic Records training, as well as how to do intuitive readings and body scans. Essentially, that's how you scan the light body, all levels of someone's being, all times, past, present, future, any life in their soul, any time in this life, any mental, emotional, spiritual, all the levels of your being. So check it out. We would really love to have you join us. And also remember, where's the meditation? That we have a meditation every week that you can check out too. Okay, cool. Hello, hello. Oh, hi, Chrissy. Hi, Pamela. Hello, everybody. We're having good. People are coming on slowly, slowly. So what we're going to do now, while we're before our beautiful guests admit, Donna joins us, and you're going to love her. She's so practical. I had her on my series at the beginning of the year. So if you want to see her interview, she also wrote a book about the Chinese year of the tiger, which is what we're in right now. So I like her. I've been going to her for some astrology lessons, as well as some personal readings and things like that. The more I do this report, this spiritual weather report, the more I'm working with more and more students to increase their intuitive abilities, understand what's coming in, how they're awakening, release our past identities, which is what we're all doing, right? The more we have the opportunity to really see that the acceleration that we're in, the evolution going so fast right now, really is going fast. So people are waking up, also means you're breaking down very quickly too. However, it's so exciting to see the information that is able to come forward, because we really went far down into our darkness for a very long time. We don't need to see that, do we? There we go. And So good. I have a bunch of my card decks out here, and I was thinking I put some up, some stayed downstairs. So we'll do this again. But if you would like a card, put your name in the chat or unmute yourself and say hi. And we'll pick. Now I have several. One I really wanted to share with you because it was very exciting for me to find. The first deck, two of them actually, but my first deck I ever learned was anybody familiar with the medicine card deck? And it is a Native American animal deck, essentially, I think is what we would call it. And I haven't seen it until I went and got my stuff out of storage in February for over 6 years. So that was fun. Here we go. All right, so I'll give you an idea. They're all animals. They're in these beautiful like dream catcher power circles. Okay, so these are beautiful. This is one of the ones you could ask for your reading with, or you can ask me to intuit and I'll put my hand over or whatever, and you can pick which deck comes to you. The next deck that we have available today for our selection and our buffet and our intuitive play day is the Ascended Masters. This is one of my absolute favorite decks, and it looks a little bit like this. We've got all different kinds of beings and energies. It's a beautiful one, goddesses and all kinds of things there. And I have a new deck I got in February. It's called the Pegasus deck. And it's all Pegasus, which is a winged horse, in different aspects, I guess let's call it. I'll show you a few of those. You might feel drawn to something when you look at it versus just hearing the name. So that's why I'm showing it to you, because I want you to open all of your senses to receive whatever it is. Now, this deck is really fun. My daughter gave this to me a couple of years ago for Christmas. It's called the Gateway deck. It's definitely a very oracle deck versus a tarot type deck. I'll just show it to you there. And it's called Gateway. And I've always found these to be really lovely. So they look like this. They're upside down. Oh, no, it's just looking that way. They look upside down. Oh, they are upside down. That one wasn't. Hey guys are driving me crazy. Here we go. So it gives you a sense of these ones. This is a really lovely card. Okay, and one of the things that we're going to talk about as we're reading your card is intuitively reading the cards. So if you're really, really new to it, and of course, way back when I started I didn't know anything about spirituality or any of this stuff. So I read the book and I read it religiously. You know, they often come with a little booklet, right? And it's great. It's always nice to see what the author or the creator might have had in mind or thought. However, very quickly, what you're going to find is that in intuition, there's the level of actually being able to open up and receive it, and to believe it, to listen to it, and then interpret it, and then act on it, right? So in the level of interpretation, we often misinterpret because we really want something to fit a question. And that's why always saying this or something better aligned with what's for my optimal highest good at this time. Anything like that will align you to what's optimal. The other thing, though, is I want you to understand that you're completely unique. So a particular symbol can have certain energies. And then it also alters. I'm just seeing if I can clean my glasses. Also alters as you, if it is drawn to you or to me, it's going to alter based on me or you, because we all have a unique vibration. And so the response to that means that there's something in there that none of us might know, or that me or one of my students might see in an intuitive reading with you, right? And we only know we're seeing it. And maybe it makes sense, maybe it unfolds into something that makes sense later. But oftentimes after the reading or the session, the client says, oh, I can't believe you said daisies or buttercups, or there was something really odd once that somebody said, oh, I can't believe you said that. That's my favorite flower or my favorite plant or something like that. So hang on, what happened? What happened, guys? We want light. So when you intuitively interpret, you look at the picture, you look at the number, you look at how it makes you feel, you look at how it vibrates off of the card to you. Excuse me. Oh, some reason this light is not cooperating. Let's see. Is that why? No, we don't know why. Okay. Well, we're going to do this with one light. Oh, I love it. And then there was light. So intuitively reading it means that you're tuning into all of your senses. Now, your resistance, your fears, your limits in your belief about yourself, a lot of those things will show up, right? And they will show up. You have to learn to decipher the difference, right? Is this a fear or is this guidance from my highest good? But when you intuit something, you look at the picture. So which one has a really nice pictures on it? Tarot deck does that. These do. That one's pretty obvious, but let's see what you guys say. It's pretty straightforward too. Well, let's just take this for an example. It's not the best example because often you have a lot going on in the card. So you might look at the number, you might look at the name, and if there's a word or a saying there. However, then you want to tune into the picture. Does this picture in particular trigger anything for you outside of owl, of course? Is there something about the feather? Does it take you back to a time when you were working with Native Americans or you did a sweat lodge or something happened, right? So then it could be, here's a piece of turquoise. This is, oh, that's interesting. That's like braided grass, sweet grass. I used to get when I lived in New Mexico. And then you have ones like this that have more background going on. And they will or won't really, oh, I did that. So this one you could easily dismiss as, well, it's a Buddha and it's just got, you know, light coming from behind a Buddha and an archway. That's not really all that unique. It probably doesn't mean anything. However, what if you put yourself in this position? Maybe this is telling you, this is you. Sit here. See your light, feel your light, radiate your light, start to grow your own garden. Is your garden this abundant and growing, right? Do you have this beautiful protection? There's different aspects going on all the time in the pictures. This will mean different things to different people. It's a horse, it's a unicorn, it's also a very specific kind of horse, right? Then over here, we've got some little fairies playing the flute. She's holding a shell. There's a dark forest with specific trees. There's the type of plants, the time of day, right? Her position, which direction things are going. What are the colors? What are the symbols? Now, again, you interpret as to what they mean to you. So the more you really trust your intuitive gifts, then the more you'll be able to do that. Okay, good. I think we got it. Let's go. Who wants a card? Okay, let's see. Pamela, the medicine deck was your first card deck too. It's just one of those incredible ones. Okay, so Pamela says Pegasus. All right. This is a new one, and I honestly picked it completely blindly. I was in a shop in Encinitas. I went back to clear out our storage unit after we bought the house, and I went in February, and there's this beautiful store there. So I went and I was just picking up decks and testing myself, and so it came down. So here we go. All right, and everybody can tune in. There's probably a message for you too. you can see that this deck has a lot of what? Freedom, flight, air in it. Okay, good. So Pamela, I ask for a clear and open connection to Pamela inside of this sacred space. Everyone here, please declare in your heart, I enter this sacred space in reverence, fully present, leaving behind my heaviness and my fears. I bring an open heart and mind, gratitude, love, and joy, and add any other delightful flavors. And then breathe that into yourself, send it out. Acknowledge the gold and silver cone of light above and below us, creating this temple. We are wrapped in the all-seeing eye. We're surrounded with the flower of life, spherical consciousness, sphere of light. This allows the space to be clear, balanced, and these energies are consciously working with you to bring you closer and closer into this infinity space. All right. So Pamela. Ooh, I can see it. Okay. So Pamela, if you are able to unmute, I will move through the cards.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to, not very good doing this. They stick together, they're so new. I didn't hear you say anything, so I'm still going through them.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what you wanted me
I'm
to do.
sorry. Yeah, you just tell me when so just focus
Okay.
on them now. Well, it's good. You're good and connected to them now. Okay. And I'm just going to move my fingers across them and you can tell me
Now.
Okay. Wow. You knew that one. Ooh, let's see what we got here. Winged Pegasus of Air, number 16.
Okay.
So let's see here. Oh. All right, so I want everyone, including Pamela, to just begin to tune into the picture, okay? Start to breathe it in. Feel the energy of it. There's a 1 and a 6 or a 16 or a 7 it comes to. I can see and feel the air element, the wings, the feathers. Okay, so I don't know these cards by the book at all, so this is kind of fun. All right, Pamela. It's interesting that they emphasize the word wing it. Yeah, they don't all say that because that's what a Pegasus is. So the wings are a very important message for you. This is a really important part of the element. And you'll notice that there's wings here, but there's the wing coming here into the foreground. Okay. And it's coming across, if you're looking at it, the right side. Okay. So the right side is a very outward, creative, manifesting energy, right? Making it happen. So the winged Pegasus being the energy of you, okay, like a horse. And the horse is, this is a flying horse, but this is the strength of a horse. This is the elegance of a horse. This is the freedom and the speed of that energy. Okay, so like power animals, we've been talking about power animals lately. And the horse is quite incredible. There's such deep gentleness inside of such strength, uh, complete mastery of their ability to not use their strength in inappropriate ways. Okay. Now there's a lot of freedom going on. What's this over here? You're coming down. Okay, that's another aspect of this card, is to look at the motion. The wing is here and it's strong and its presence, it's coming into the foreground. Okay, there's something, and you're coming down. So you're landing, you're coming in, you're still in this world, air, mental, or dream world, or creation world, or Akasha. Okay, but there's great intent, there's peace, and there's joy, and there's the clouds are coming over, through, and around. So if you can see deeper, you'll see that it's not just clouds in the background. You can see the clouds here, and then up here it looks like it's almost a part of the body, like he is made out of the clouds. And this is really telling you that you are one, right? To be in that space where you are one with this freedom, this air, it's potential, right? It has that peacefulness of potential, glowing, all this glowing, lighting up. There's a lot of light over the third eye. There's light coming off the wings. It's like you're being lit on your path coming down into something.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. And it actually answers the question that I asked from my heart.
Excellent. Awesome.
Wow, thank you
Wonderful.
so much, Nan. That's
Thank
great.
you. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
for
You're
doing
so welcome. I love that. Isn't that fun? So it's so fun because she didn't tell me her question, right? And she got exactly what she needed. That's what's so cool about using your intuition for this stuff. Okay, let's see who's next. Woo-woo. Okay. Hi, Carol. Yes. So Carol, let me just scroll down to see if later on you say anything. Okay, Carol, do you have a particular deck that you would like? You can unmute, or you can type into the chat if you're unable to mute.
No, hi Nan.
Hi.
No, I didn't. Just any that jump out at you.
Okay. All right, good. So just gonna let go of that energy. Got my little jaguar here, and he's out of the obsidian too. So he's gonna take all that energy and help us see in the dark. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna create a clear and open connection to Carol's highest good and that which is optimal for her at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Feels like the Ascended Masters deck. Okay, so we're going to mix your energy in here, and rather than show them to you while I'm shuffling them, I'm just going to put them here in my hands, and you can tell me when I should stop.
Okay, stop.
Well, I'm laughing because it's one of the ones we looked at.
Oh, wow.
And it's also another horse. And it's another mythical horse, another magical horse. Right here's a unicorn. So, yeah. And I didn't see the first time, but and again, you might just relate to the picture, right? You might not relate to whatever the word is, but I didn't notice the first time the word is crystals. And she's actually holding a crystal, not a shell. And it has, I thought it was a big conch shell, but it's a crystal and it's, shining all these colors like a tiny rainbow over it.
Oh, lovely.
Isn't that beautiful? And she's holding that in her right hand. So you want to look at everything about the position of this photo, because when we discussed it before, there's a lot going on here, right?
Mhm.
So if you're on the horse and you're on the magical horse, again, there's some glowing, right? A lot of beauty. And she's sitting. She's not like, holding on. There's no extra saddles. There's no human accoutrement, right? She's a part of this. And Epona, I think it is, right? Epona, what I know about Epona is she is a goddess. I think she's like Celtic or something. And she's always with a horse, some form of horse. It's not necessarily a unicorn. However, it's that aspect again of your freedom. So if you saw yourself as one with this, it's going to dramatically increase the way you're seeing yourself right now. And this card is actually, the crystal aspect of this card is actually calling to you, Carol. There is, I can feel, I have a lot of crystals here, and I can just feel the energies of they're starting to wake up, and they're all, I'd say they're doing a little rave, woo, 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 like that, because it's like the energy goes up like a fountain and down again. Woo, woo. Now,
I do actually work with crystals.
do you? Okay. Well, this is a great affirmation of it. There's a beautiful pink flower over here. I'm not sure what it is. And these are, yes, they are fairies. One's playing a flute and one is playing a, I don't know what that's called, like a lyre. It's got that belly kind of made out of a gourd, like a guitar right here.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
There. Okay, so the fairy kingdom is here, very strong. And there's a ton of nature, and like there's the green here, and then behind it, it almost looks like water, but it's not. It's fields. See this here, and then behind her, how watery that could be, very deep. There's this night energy. So this is perfect for right now, because we're in all these retrogrades, and they're all about the subconscious or going under the surface, or reviewing. So there's something about your subconscious. This is almost feeling like a cave to me, rather than just the archway, that is inviting you to go deeper into this magical world, connect more with the nature spirits, connect more with the fairies. But they are this part of you that is this unicorn is you see this? It's like they're there because these guys are talking, they're like, how's it going, dude? Right? There's a connection here. Even the eye looks like it's looking directly down at the fairies. So there's something with music, sound healing, and that. Do you have a crystal that looks like this?
I can't actually see the crystal with the knife.
I know. It looks like this is what it looks like. It's really hard to tell because it's tiny, but it looks like something like this.
Oh, like a celestite. Is that celestite?
Well, I think it's just quartz, but it's like she's holding a big piece like this.
Is it a blue, or is it more of a purple violet?
Looks just like this. Looks white with some lavender.
Oh, wait a minute. I will start my video. I've actually listed some crystals to sell, and maybe I've been told that not this one. If you start my video,
you can go back to this one. It'll be up on YouTube, and we'll send you the link to be able to just scroll forward.
Can you see this one?
Oh yeah, let me see. Hang on. Oh wow. Wow, that is really nice. This is one you're selling?
Yes, but yeah, I was sold it as a Super 7, and someone was going to buy it, but they didn't think it was a Super 7. They thought it was maybe a Super 6 or a Super 5. So she wasn't going to pay what I was asking for it, I suppose.
Interesting. Well, I think that there's something about the frequency of that you can work with that and ask it what it wants to do next. There's somebody that it's meant to go to, because it feels here like you're almost making an offering, see, you're offering it out into the world.
So it's not a message for me to keep this, it's a message for me to
I don't think so. No.
okay.
Yeah, and you can talk to it and you could have the fairy kingdom and some of that energies help you to connect it to the person that it's best for, because it's got work to do. There's some work to do there. Yeah, it's almost like it's coming alive. A lot of the crystals were sleeping and they've been waking up too. Ooh, thank you for sharing. Where can people find your crystals for sale?
I haven't listed them anywhere. I work with the crystals. I do crystal healing with the crystals. So, but we're downsizing, so I need to make space, or I'm not going to have space.
Well, I'd say more like
so I thought I'd list.
Yeah, they're just ready to move to someone new.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, if you want to leave us your, I don't know, some kind of contact information, we'll be happy to share that with people if anyone's interested in talking to her about those. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Nan.
Okay, let's see if we can do one more here. Okay. Okay, Christy wants Ascended Masters too. Okay. Have to.
I'm unmuted. Hi.
Hi. Okay, good. Let's see here. Hi, Donna. There, Donna's here. So we're gonna do one more. There you are.
How are you doing?
Good. We're playing with oracle cards and intuitive readings. So
That's awesome.
we're warming everyone up for you.
That's great.
Okay, Christy, here you go. Connect in here.
Okay. Can I see what that looks like for a second? What is that?
That is Archangel Michael.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
And here's the cover of the book.
Beautiful.
But that's who they have on here. They got nice little gold.
Oh yeah.
Here,
I love the gold edges.
Yeah. Okay, so since I know you so well, I'm gonna just go here. Ooh. Yes, okay. So go ahead and tell me when to stop.
Okay.
Ooh. She lived out of the deck for a long time. Athena? Now, Athena, she's a Greek goddess, right? And she's the patron goddess of Athens, and she's often considered a warrior goddess. But her main thing is wisdom, right? And she always has the owl on her shoulder, which is interesting for you, Christy, being in the intuition awakening, because this is something that can see the truth no matter what. So she holds that ability, and the sword isn't about fighting. This is her about justice and protection is her main things. But let's take a look. So if we're reading the card specifically, what we know about Athena comes in. What do you pick up immediately from her, triggering anything for you, or the picture?
Well, the yellow stands out to me. Sacral, yes. So personal power.
Mm.
And her arm lifting up. I am not getting anything right away about what that means, but it certainly stands out to me.
But look at what it is. It's her left hand.
Okay, and it's
So
not defensive. It looks
Nope.
open, very open.
Right? Her palm is open. It's her left intuitive receiving heart hand. And it's up
Okay.
out in front of her.
In
So-
my
Mhm.
vision of the picture, it looks like her right hand. So I don't know if it is it
Her left hand. Oh,
switch.
you're right. It is her right hand. I'm backwards and then I'm backwards in it. Yeah, it's her right hand. Oh, she's holding the sword of truth in her left hand. Okay, so we'll shift that around. So oftentimes, with the mudras, you see different deities sitting like this or
Yeah.
like this, right? So it's going out or it's coming in, and you work with your palm portals as well too.
Yeah.
And she also has a crown. It's just in the front and it's pretty down over her forehead. So it's very third eye. And she's got this scarf over her head wrapping the crown. Now she's got pillars. So this represents a lot of different things like energy or pillars standing behind you or pillars of light, pillars of, strength. And then this building, of course, is the Acropolis, but it also, to a lot of minds, is a justice, right?
Oh,
It looks like a hall of justice, but you want to interpret what that feels to you. I've been there when you could walk around and sit in it a long time ago.
I was there once a long time ago too, but in the picture, what came to me was the Akashic records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a hall of records, and then it's got between where she's standing and that, you see this, it's like purple mist.
Yeah.
So it's something that's there for you.
Connection through the crown
Mhm.
chakra. And kind of almost looks like she's above that. So it's like above the crown chakra, almost maybe like in the eighth chakra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have all of this purple, right? Crown chakra light. And there's some kind of blue on her handle of her sword, and the sword is glowing.
Yeah, that sword is
And
beautiful.
this is your left hand now. So, right. So you want to think about, and she's just holding it, right? It's down, but she's owning it. She's owning that power or that precision or that focus or that light, but she isn't holding it up and she hasn't put it away. Like you said, it's a very powerful, connecting, open. It's a really nice balance almost, right? Between masculine and feminine. It's a lot of balance there.
Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of strength and empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say? I didn't hear what you said about the right hand being up in that position. That's the right is the masculine.
It's
Yes.
typically your masculine. It's typically your outreach into the world, right? What you're putting out. You're going out into the world this way.
Okay.
Right. And you're typically receiving intuitively on the left side.
Yeah.
And in intuitive readings and stuff we do too, you often see a lot of energy around the hands or the wrists or things that people have been cut off or shriveled or broken or they don't want to receive, or they're not, and there's that fear of putting yourself out in the world, becoming vulnerable, stepping out in your business, everything going out, you're putting it up, you've got your hand up, you're putting your thing out, you just came out with your first podcast. There's a lot there, but in this case too, I do think the words, they don't often relate, but I think it's a great one.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't feel as strong for me as the picture, but
No, but it just based on some of the things that happened to you recently, I think it's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. Okay, cool. You guys, that was fun. We'll have to do that again. So now, without further ado, let's welcome our fabulous Donna. Hi
Hi,
there.
everybody. I didn't expect such a big group. This is awesome.
Yay. So let me see now. I forgot to do that. I wonder if I can still do that. Sure. Forgot to stream onto YouTube, but we'll go ahead and do it now.
That sounds good.
So I already showed everybody your beautiful graphic and your picture and all of these fun things. And I told them that you have a new course on learning. Did you call it the natural way?
Yeah, it's reading tarot the natural way. And so I really focus on the Rider-Waite based decks, which I think are very good for beginners because there are people in the cards. Now, the cards that you were showing, such as this card you were just showing, there's a person there in the card to interact with so that you can actually go in and ask Athena, what's going on with my question? What is your opinion of it? And that's why I think, the Rider-Waite based decks, which that one's not, but the Rider-Waite based decks mostly have people in the cards.
That's
so there's
true,
somebody
yeah.
to interact with, whereas some other decks, they're still very good, like Voyager or the Thoth deck. Those decks, they don't have someone to interact with.
That's true, yeah.
And so the energy it's just more challenging to read. That doesn't mean it's not a good deck. It's both of those decks are really excellent.
I was pulling up a deck that I thought was what you were talking about, but lo and behold, there's people in it.
Yes.
It's say now that one maybe not, but it's like sacred geometry. A lot of it is there's no people, but there you go.
Yes. So with those other decks where there's a lot of symbolism, there's more memorization or an understanding of the symbols, or you need to go in and tap into something much more intuitive, which takes practice. And so I thought maybe I could demonstrate. So maybe somebody in the audience or you have a question.
Yes, absolutely. So I shared a little bit about Donna coming on, but I didn't tell you like much more about her. I call you a master astrologer. I don't know if that's the correct term, but you've been doing it so long. You're so good at everything you do. And you write weekly and monthly columns, I think, right? For horoscope.com, astrology.com. You've written a lot of books.
Yes.
And what else? What else do we
And
want
I
to
have
know
a
about
YouTube
you?
channel.
Yes.
So I put up videos for the new and full moons, and I'm just working on the Chinese astrology videos now. So we're going to go from tiger to rabbit. That's quite a shift. So
yeah, I remember you said something to me about that this summer, and it really rolled around in my head, right? It was like, oh, I don't think ahead that much. Oh, okay. So yeah, I want to have you back where we can talk about that. So okay, so tell us a little bit about why you like tarot and why you decided to make the course.
Well, I actually got into astrology originally because I wanted to make better decisions, and I'm an indecisive Libra, so I'm always struggling with that. And so astrology really lends itself to a lot of types of decisions, but not necessarily like an either or to give you insight into maybe what a person's thinking at the moment. So there is a branch of astrology called horary that can help with that. But if you're sitting there deciding which restaurant to go to with your friends, it's nice to be able to pull cards. And so I started using the tarot. I actually started with the Thoth deck because there's astrological symbols on that deck, but I did fall in love with these different decks that have, a real story about them. And of course, the Rider-Waite is the classic. So the Rider-Waite comes in a lot of different color schemes, and there are a lot of derivatives of it, which are nice too. Everything from Robin Wood to the Hanson Roberts. And so there's a bunch of decks. They're very similar to Rider-Waite, but again, have a real focus of people on it. And
I
that's
have a
what
Spanish one.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. And so think of it like when we see a still frame from a movie, we kind of know how the characters got there and where the characters are heading. And that's the principle here, is to actually go into that card and interact with the person, you know. So I don't know if I can share my screen and
Oh,
actually
let me,
bring
make
up some
you-
cards.
Yeah, let me see if I can make you. There you go. Should be able to now. That'd be awesome.
So let's talk about, let's see if you can see this.
Okay, and so when we get to the first question, Sandra, you can be the next one to do that. Okay. You know, you had put your name in there. Yes, we can see that.
Perfect. So here's just an example. And so this is the Queen of Swords. And so if you were choosing this card, you could actually have a conversation with the Queen here. Now, this is very interesting because you were just discussing this card with Athena.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting because she had her sword in her left hand.
She did.
And she had her hand raised, but it was her right hand. It was very interesting because most people are right-handed, and so they're not going to have a sword in their left hand. That is a symbol of peace. Whereas our queen here with a sword in her right hand is very ready to make a decision, right? Because decision is based on that Latin term of incision, like how am I going to divide two things? So here she is, and she says, let's make a decision. And so we see her also, like, she's above it all. Do you notice where she's sitting?
Yeah.
She's sitting with her head above the clouds. And so she's not looking at the everyday mundane answer. She's looking at the bigger picture. So if your question was something very mundane, like, where should we go to lunch? We would be still elevating this to, how am I going to help my body? How am I going to make a good decision for my long-term future, which probably means we're not going to Taco Bell, right?
Yeah.
So we see her here with this interesting bracelet on. Do you see this?
Yeah.
That has a tassel that almost looks like it was a bond that she cut. And so this is also where we might be asking, are we continually doing the same thing? Do we need to free ourselves from something? But most importantly, when we have our question, we can actually literally ask her, what would a queen who's holding up a sword do in this circumstance? And so she
even has clouds on her cape.
On her cape, yes. So she is part of that. Yeah. She is part of this idea that the clouds are here. Clouds are extremely powerful. We think of the sun as being so powerful. Well, what is more powerful? Well, the cloud that blocks it.
Yeah.
Right. But then the wind comes and the wind moves the cloud. So is the wind more powerful? So, so we can go through the cycle and we see that everything is related.
Yeah.
And everyone has their power at the moment. And
then she's got butterflies on her crown and at the base of her throne.
Yes. So the butterfly is a very interesting symbol. A lot of people talk about snakes as being a symbol of transformation. So, but the butterfly is the true symbol of transformation, because when a snake sheds its skin, it ends up still being a snake.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
a butterfly goes from this little fuzzy worm to become this entirely different creature.
Yeah.
And so this is where the part of you that has to trust to go into that cocoon, to do that transformation. That's what she's suggesting here is you can be free. You can do something entirely different. And so ultimately she says, make a new decision and you have the power. This is in your right hand. This is you get to choose.
Yeah.
We also notice that she's got this stone throne. So she's very solidly placed, right?
Yeah.
With a little angel guide
Angel,
here.
Yeah.
So to say that she's not doing this just on her own, that she does have help. She has help from the guide. She has help from the bird. So
yeah,
she
that's interesting
has,
that bird is way above her crown.
yes, yes. And that single message, you know, I think of this queen as being quite single-minded. To
Mhm.
make a decision means to let go of other options. And so that is to choose one thing, not to vacillate, but to commit.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to commit forever. You could commit for a day,
Yeah.
you know? So the energy is, though, very much of it's time to decide.
Yeah, and it's so amazing how everything is organic and linear. Even the stone thing is curved, and there's curves, and there's the clouds and the trees and the water and everything. And then zoop, that
Yes.
linear sword just
Yes.
cutting through
It's so
everything.
interesting that you're pointing that out, because we also see this in the gray part of the chair, which is that merger of black and white. She wants something to be black and white, to be absolute. And we know there's always this gray area, and we have to slice through the gray area so that we can choose for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I love that the crown, we talk about crowns a lot because they weren't just to say, look at me, I'm pretty. You know, they understood this is the crown chakra. This is the third eye.
Yes.
Let's put some gems here. Let's put some gold here. Let's put some conducting elements here. And, you know, not just tell other people, you know, I'm better than you or I'm enlightened, but actually
Yes,
having
exactly.
that here.
That's exactly right. It was to magnify the third eye. And then the scarf behind her was
Yeah.
to protect this vulnerable area at the back of the neck. And so this was to say that even though the crown did not extend, that she still has that protection.
Oh, nice. Because that was in the Athena card too. She had this,
That's
she had a
right.
crown, but it was just in the front like that. And then, but
Mhm.
she had that draped over her head and down back.
Yes. And, you know, we do something a little similar when we wear rings, we emphasize that finger. And so let's say you wanted to emphasize communication, you wear a pinky ring. If you wanted to emphasize action, you would wear a ring on your thumb. So we don't often get the chance to wear a tiara, but when we do, we should.
I know. Fantastic. Oh my gosh, I love this. So, okay, so should Sandra ask a question and then you guys,
Yeah, I would love
scroll
that.
through, or okay, Sandra, are you able to unmute?
Hi, Nan. Hi, Donna. How are you?
Hello.
Okay, so you
I-
said you wanted to ask about a love relationship or partner.
Yes. Yes, please.
Anything particular or anything else you need?
Yeah,
Donna?
what's your question, Sandra?
If there's something in the way, because I've been divorced for many years and I'm 58, and I would like to meet a good man to share our lives.
So what I'm understanding your question to be, is there something in the way of meeting somebody?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I just want to point out, you notice that I'm asking her to clarify the question, and this is to help you get a clear answer. Sometimes we quickly go to pull a card and we're not clear about our question, and then the answer seems muddled.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I don't suppose, Sandra, you have cards, so I guess I will pull the card. So
Yes. You choose for me.
I have some. Let me get mine.
oh, you have cards with you, Nan? Okay, so your question is, what's in the way of meeting this love relationship?
Yes, please.
So, and I'm going to show you the card I chose. And here it is, the Six of Cups. So here is this scene that is so descriptive. This shows a little girl in this garden with a little boy, and he's about to give her flowers. So very lovely. We see that this is a very protected space that they're in. It
Mhm.
is walled off, and there's a guard here in the background. And she has all of these flowers, and here comes this boy to give this girl the flowers. And yet here she is, not reaching, not taking hold. She has her garden gloves on. She hasn't removed those. So she keeps waiting and waiting because she's uncertain. So, Sandra, what are you uncertain about?
Wow.
Uh-huh. I get it. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
oftentimes it is us that's holding it back. And, when we look, we can see that if you just open the door, that there will be opportunity after opportunity. But of course, two things come to mind. One, you're afraid of being hurt, but you're in a safe place. And that means that you can spot a good one from a bad one.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely true. Yeah.
But the second is that you think, because you have all these flowers here, sometimes I think you even think, what will this add to my life? Or will it just complicate things? It looks like the little boy is giving her something that she has in abundance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How does that feel, Sandra?
Oh, that's so true. Yeah. I was hurt, and I think it's like a shield I have, not to open my heart
Mhm.
to know new people, to
And
be vulnerable.
what is so interesting is this card depicts people who are younger than us, right?
Yeah.
And so this is something from your past, but you've matured, you've gone on, you're stronger than this. You're not this very vulnerable child, but you keep thinking you are. And so
Yeah.
therefore everyone seems dangerous.
Mhm. Oh,
Even
so sweet.
someone like this boy who is perfectly safe.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, so nice. Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you.
Sandra, this also says that this person is very close.
I was just going to say that. I was going to say, doesn't this mean that you're already in the same place with this? This seems
Yeah.
like you're in the
You-
same place together, and
You
he's
may just have to
sitting
get out of the
down and
house.
looking. Yeah.
Okay.
And you
I'll
can
let you
still
know, ladies.
and this may be staying in the neighborhood, staying in the community. You don't have to go far, but you may have to get
Okay.
out of the house. Take the gloves off,
Mm,
all right?
yeah.
Okay.
And recognize that you can handle the risk. So,
Mm. And
Yeah.
receiving, like you said, take the gloves off and then, open up, be willing to receive. He looks so cute because I got him bending just a little at the knee, he's all
Yes.
sweet. There's not towering
Yeah.
over, there's nothing aggressive at all. That's very loving.
Yes. Lovely
So,
card.
What
Thank you,
about
ladies.
this? Thanks, Donna. What about this little shield or emblem on the
Another
behind-
sign
Yeah.
of security is
Security,
here
okay.
with the shields.
That's what
So how
Mm.
safe you are, Sandra, in entering into something. And that is because you're smart. You can tell the difference between someone who's genuine and someone who's not.
Yeah.
You've been through a lot and you've learned a lot. So recognize that you're not going into a love relationship because you need them to get food on the table. You're okay. So that means, start maybe with a friendship and build on that.
Mhm. Also, what I see in this card is all those flowers are the same.
Yes.
And so she has, so to speak, all these flowers, but he's bringing her the same thing.
Mhm.
And instead of it being like, why? To me, it's saying he recognizes you. He sees what you like. He sees what you, he is aware, right? It's not bringing you like, oh, I just picked up a poppy. Oh, I don't like poppies, but I love these things. Pay attention, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like there's
Yeah, that's
something in
a
there
very
about
good
a
insight.
parent
This
paying
idea that he's going to know what you like. I
Yeah.
love that.
Mhm.
It also, to me, says that there's more than one.
Yes.
So
that's
if
what
the
another
first
thing,
one
like,
comes and you don't, and you think he's, I don't know, too short, or you don't like his car, you just go on to the next one.
Oh my God.
Woo! Sandra!
I let you know, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Big kisses for you.
Wonderful. Hi. Okay, can we do another one?
Sure.
Okay, Oriana. Let's see. Are you able to unmute?
Sure.
Okay. All right, Donna, this is Oriana.
Oh, Oriana, I love your backdrop. That's fantastic. So what's your question today?
Well, I just had an experience this morning of a transmission of opening this portal, this gate, this direct alignment with a higher energy, and knowing that it's in a language that is a non-linear language that I'm learning, being trained up in. It was best described back to me as like how the dolphins send out a sonar wave and then read the interference pattern that comes back as sensation and feeling and form. And so I'm wondering what that next step is for me.
So I'm so sorry. I didn't catch the last part of what you said. What was your question?
Oh, of just what the next step for me is, like how to proceed, what to do with this opening.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting because so you're asking this question, and then if it says it's going to be a challenge, you're okay, right?
Yeah, I'm expecting it. It's going to be a challenge. So.
Right. All right. All right.
Oriana's been doing this a long time. She's very,
Hey, got
very
it.
committed. Yes.
Do you want me to pull the card, or do you want Nan to pull the card?
Either way, I did have well, I'll get back to the.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Logistics in the moment. Well, I had a writer weight deck early, I mean, so many years ago when I started this adventure, I think. But it had a specific way to do a reading, and like a Celtic cross kind of.
Sure.
And I'm just wondering if you do that, if that's even recommended, or you just do the one card for.
So the Celtic cross reading is a very interesting reading. It's great for in-depth because it will talk about what is blocking you and how that's related to your past, and then it gives you all these options for the future. And so if I'm sitting down with a person for an hour or more, yes, I might lay the Celtic cross, but it is a very in-depth reading. Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
So, all right, Nan, you have a Rider Waite deck there.
I do.
Excellent.
I have my Spanish English dictionary version.
Perfect. All right. So
Okay.
if you'll choose a card for Ariana.
All right. We ask to be a clear and open channel for Oriana's highest good and what is optimal for her next steps on her path at this time. Okay. Tres copas.
Three of Cups. Thank you for the translation because I wouldn't have got it otherwise.
So could we see it on your screen?
Yeah, let me find
yeah,
it
sure.
here.
It's the Three of Cups, and
Mhm.
there's three lovely goddesses dancing together, holding golden cups in the air. There's a fruit, a lot of bounty, a lot of abundance, like harvest, like pumpkins and fruit.
Yes. So this is the card of a spontaneous celebration of people and entities coming together in a chance meeting at a time that needs to be celebrated. There is something that is wondrous happening here. And so this is not something that was scheduled. It's not something that happens every year. In fact, it may only happen in this very moment. And so that's when you say, all right, I'm open in the moment. And that is going forward. You may have to wait. You may every single day have one of these celebrations, or you may go a month without it. And that's okay. Now, what we also see is three individuals of very equal status. So there's no leader here. Every person here has a right to be here, has something to contribute. And so no matter who you're speaking to, remember, you have power also. There's no hierarchy here at all. And then together, you're raising your glasses in a toast, in this celebration. So this is to say that this is kind of a pinnacle of energy, that the energy is coming together so that maybe then after you go and work some more, but you are celebrating how much work you've already done. And we see that with all of this abundance at their feet. So you've done the planting, the tending. Now is just the time to harvest.
Time to harvest, yeah.
Does this make sense?
Yes, and it also makes sense as the vessel is what I actually call it, the time crystal vessel. That is an ocean-going vessel, or a vessel like a container, or
That's fantastic.
a vessel like a blood vessel is a conduit. And all three of those define this idea of being the vessel and receiving that which flows through. And then what I'm seeing is that you're calling the abundance, I'm calling the fertility. Fertility of the world itself is brought through the
Yes, because
vessel.
each of these different fruits and vegetables here, they will nourish, but they will also provide seeds for next year. So, and we see one has already begun to harvest. She has the grapes in her hands. And so we know that this is still a process that you're working on.
It's good to know. We're in process. Yes.
Yes.
Steve. Thank you.
Of these three women, is there one who stands out that you would say, this is me?
The one in white.
The one in white. I thought you would say that.
Yeah, and it
And
feels
so-
like behind the scenes, but the one that's leading the way, showing the way, and opening that door. But then others can fully come in and find it for themselves.
That's very interesting. Now, she's in white, and that is about clarity. And that's what you're looking for, is the clear message. So of the three messages, clarity is what you're looking for.
Very good.
Yes. Yeah. So does that answer your question?
It clarified my question,
Yeah.
which is also important, right? It's like, oh yes, that next movement, that next moment.
What about the aspects, Donna, of the three? Not all the three as a number, but also the way they have it, like these three pillars, sort of, and the aspect of the women, with the feminine.
Yeah, it's so interesting because the number 3 is a highly creative number. So it is about that, we think of 2 as the partnership, and then what happens, 2 come together and then a baby happens. So there's the creation. So the number 3 also is interesting in the sense that it's half of 8. right? If we sliced an 8 in half, so 8 is as above, so below.
Mhm.
So, and 3 is, well, we're starting this process, but we're still very open. The loop is not closed. There's still a lot to do.
Yeah.
So I like how much creativity can happen when 3 women come together. I think that that's fantastic. So I think that it's interesting that you, as the one in the white, you hold your cup the highest here. So you are saying this is so important. It's
Yes.
elevated in your life.
And that's her left hand. The other two are holding it with their right hands.
So yeah, that's true.
Other way
So
around. Actually, she's holding it with her right hand. You can see it come all the way down.
I think this
No,
is
she's
her
facing
front.
that way. Yeah,
Oh,
that's her boob right there.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Good.
And so
She's reaching, she's almost reaching back like that and up.
Oh,
So the interesting thing about the left hand is the left hand knows how to receive. It's learning how to give. So this is the process.
You're
So
receiving, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so you need to receive, you know how to receive. And so when you receive, you will learn how to give this information out into the world.
Okay.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah. Well, that first point, that portal that I'm opening is the first dimension, which then requires a second and third dimension in order to have form.
Ah, that's great. That's great. I love too that we have these harvest time vegetables around and then the grapes. And so we are talking about both this idea of the root vegetables, the being very much about groundedness. So, and some things coming up about, of course, October when we see any sort of pumpkin. And then, but there's also the celebratory part of what grapes can do. You know, they make what goes in the cup. So that is to have fun with this also. It's not just about eating your vegetables. There's dessert here too.
What is that symbol right below the grapes here?
This is actually her signature.
I was going to say, I saw it on the other card.
The woman who drew these. And sorry, I have a new neighbor. He's moving in today, so I keep getting distracted. So her name was her last name's Smith, and now I can't remember her first name.
It's a great signature. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great signature, isn't it?
So the last thing I'm seeing is the hair with all the vines or grapes in it. And the one you picked, one has none, one has a little, and the one you picked has a lot. Right? And is this like the crown thing?
Again, yes, the crown. You know, when we have something on our head, a hat or anything, it stimulates the mind. If it comes to the front, then as Nan was saying before, it stimulates the third eye, but this stimulates the mind. It shows your abundant mind. Yeah, you're wearing it already.
I do. Yeah, I got it for my birthday, but look at this. Yeah, I also got this one.
Oh, see, everybody needs a tiara.
Everybody needs a tiara or two.
Or two.
Yeah.
That's
I thought I was going a little more incognito though to wear my fairy crown. It blends more back into my background, right?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Doesn't everybody have a wardrobe of crowns, don't you know?
I used to have more. Sadness.
No, this one I wear during the day because it makes me stand up straight. It's like I can't do a Tex-Mex kind of thing.
That's true.
So the other day, these Jehovah's Witnesses came to my door, and I wore my crown. They didn't bat an eye. They also didn't stay long, but
that we definitely are getting into the days where more places you can go be weird, and it not being a big deal. I love it.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Oriana.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Thank you so much. So I just wanted to say a couple more things, like I do believe that the tarot is a great way for people to, get answers themselves. I think it's wonderful that you come to us as astrologers and psychics and all of that, but we also need ways to answer those questions in every day and get some insight and connect spiritually. And so that's why I want everybody to learn how to do this. I think it's very doable. I think that as you go in and like if we stepped in and talked to these women, we would get these different opinions that come together in a creative place.
Yeah, that's right. You were saying you talked to the characters. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And so no need to memorize a book. We can actually see who these people are and, their reaction. If we said to them, well, I think I'm going to go do my taxes, what would be their reaction? They would take us by the hand and pull us in and say, do that later. We need to celebrate now.
Exactly.
We need to be together now. And so they're saying, in the moment, be spontaneous.
Now,
So,
if we were going to go talk to one, or if you were going to, somebody was drawn to like the lady in red.
Yes. So we think, what is red about? So first of all, red gets our attention. Oh, we assign it to a stop sign, but originally it wasn't. Originally, stop signs were green. Yes. And then a company came out with a stop sign, it was red, and they got more popular. But red is about taking action, not stopping. Green is about pausing and watching grass grow. Yeah. So the red, or almost orange here, this fiery energy says, do something. So we might imagine that she's the one that first said, let's all get together and celebrate.
Yeah.
So where the one in white says, what are we celebrating?
Yeah.
He wants the clarity.
I'm in. What is it?
Yes. And the one in yellow says, I love you both. We're friends. We're connected. Yellow is about history also. And she might be thinking, oh, wait, we did this in the past. And maybe we'll do it in the future. So
what about with chakra colors?
So, well, there's a couple of different systems with chakra colors, which is interesting. There's a modern system that puts red as the root chakra, but in the old system, brown was the root chakra because that's where you gave birth. Yeah. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then of course we could even go on and say that she has that little blue shoe.
Yeah.
Yes. And so blue is about wisdom, right? And expansion. The things that are blue are sky and ocean. It's about travel.
Yeah, on her feet. And the other lady, the lady in the front, is she barefoot?
I think she has boots on.
Oh, okay.
So, and different cards will have different symbols. We will see that in any of the derivations of the Rider-Waite deck. We'll see slightly different, and then you'll be able to read those different ideas. So we might say that the woman in red came last to the celebration.
Yeah, she like ran up.
Because she's wearing the extra cloak. She has nothing in her hair. She might have just come upon this party and said, I will join you. So there is so much depth that we can go into when we just stop and ask ourselves the questions, what's going on in this card? Who are these people? What are they going to do next? So,
what are they ready for? Yeah.
There's my little alarm going off. I only have a couple more minutes. So.
Well, good. So how do people find your awesome new course?
Oh, thank you for asking. So I have links in all of my videos on YouTube,
Do you
or
have anything to put on the screen or stop
geez,
sharing the
I
screen?
wish I did. That would have been so smart of me.
Well, we'll send them. Where do I send everybody?
Probably to my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So
Do they give names anymore? I got a YouTube channel so long ago, did nothing with it, but it was back when you could give it a name. Mine was
Yeah.
actually youtube.com/joyfulman.
yes, again, let me see if I can get that for you. I'm going to see if I can put
If
it
I
in
can
the
get it.
chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you stick it in the chat and then we'll put it in the email and we'll stick it below when this gets up onto YouTube.
There it is. So,
Good. So,
and
good.
see if
Donna
this
Stellhorn.
works also. I don't know if this will work.
And you can stop sharing.
Oh, that did not work. All right, never mind. I won't even send that. So, yeah.
Can you
Not
stop your
prepared
share?
for the, oh, I think I've got it. Not prepared for the promotion part of things. There we go. There's the course. So at courses.donnastellhorn.com.
Okay, good. Well, turn off your share screen. There we go. Okay, good.
Yes.
All right, good. So we'll put those below and we'll put them in the email if you're on the list at nanakasha.com. And fantastic. So anything else you want to say before you leave?
Yeah, next time we talk, we'll talk about Year of the Water Rabbits.
Yes, let's do
That will be very exciting. So that's going to be some really different energy. And so we'll talk about what's going to be ahead. And if somebody wants to know, what's going on with their Chinese zodiac sign and how it's going to mesh with the new energies. So we'll get that together for everybody.
And right now we're in the year of the tiger. So
We're
give us
in the year of the tiger. And remember, just like any cats, they're sometimes extremely active, very volatile, and sometimes they need to nap.
Sometimes.
So we'll get little moments of peace. And then it's going to get exciting again. And I think it's going to be quite exciting in October. So time to replenish right now.
Get ready.
That's ahead.
Even with all these retrogrades, huh?
Yeah, retrograde is just our chance to go back and look again.
Yeah.
So, and then thank you so much for letting me meet everybody and talk to you. I always enjoy talking to you. So fantastic. And I will see all of you next time.
Okay. Thank you so much, sweetie.
Bye.
Thank you, Donna. Okay. So I will, if you want to stay, I know Michelle asked about a card and I can do mine. I don't know the deck the way she does, but we'll pull you a card. Are you here? I don't think she's here anymore. Oh, she's not here. Or am I not seeing her? No. Okay, anybody here want a tarot deck card? I'll pull one.
I did request one, Elena. I did request one.
Hi. Okay, sweetie. So I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle them and you just tell me when to stop.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me pin myself here so you can see it. Oh, okay. 10 de copas, 10 of cups. We got all these cups.
Wow.
This is another cups and it's a rainbow. It's very, very, very pretty.
Yeah.
So I'm not very good with the regular tarot deck. And I don't know really the traditional meaning of it, but we can play with this. This is awesome. So obviously the rainbow and 10, and I love 10 because 1 and 0 is you and everything, you and the infinite, right? And this family looks very happy, right? They're together, the kids are dancing, the parents are happily holding each other, they're open. It's like they're receiving their abundance. The rivers flowing through this beautiful pastoral seen. So whatever your question was, it seems to me that it's a big yes, that it's appearing, that it's above you, that you've got a lot of happiness and abundance coming. Does that make sense?
Wow, I want that makes sense. I want to make sense. What better, what to be better than that, right?
Yes, yes, fantastic.
Yeah.
Very nice. And you can go in, like she was saying, to the people in this, and the idea of, well, if these, you could talk to the kids of why they're happy, but it also could be representing your inner child, right? Or parts of you reuniting. Seems like everybody is reunited back together, looking in the same direction.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, how nice. It's good news.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
You're so welcome. And I'm gonna pull one more. I'll pull one for Sylvia here. Okay, Sylvia, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
I don't know why all we get are cups, but here we go. I don't know, is that a good one? Sota, a page of cups. So that's the major arcana, right? That's like the king, queen, page is like the prince. And there's a fish coming out of the cup. And he's standing in front of the ocean. It almost has a little bit to me. I don't know, that's just the way it looked. I thought that it was a fish on his head too. Is like, he's abundant, like he's scooped up into the waters, or what things are manifesting in his hands, things are manifesting in his cup. See what else. He's very happy. It's also a sense of like, that fish not necessarily being like, oh, look, I caught a fish, literally, right? More representing the abundance. But what's coming to me is to look to what you're holding already. Look at what you're already is in your cup, already is in your hand. Are you seeing that the cup is full? Are you seeing this abundance in there? And then you might want to look into fish and see if any of the meanings behind fish resonate for you. But the waters are they're there, but they're calm, and they seem abundant, and is standing in a very comfortable stance, right? This is a comfort with yourself and recognizing. I know that maybe this outfit was normal back then, but this thing on his head keeps drawing my attention. And it's almost like, you see, he's got a little jewel or dot right here in the center. And it's really focusing on that crown third eye area, and this thing making a big deal out of it. Again, like we were saying before with Donna, when Donna was here, about things with the head or the hat, but it's coming down, crossing the higher heart, framing the throat and connecting to the other side. And it's coming down his left side, crossing over this higher heart area, framing the throat, and then just up over here. So something is coming down, and it's nice because it's coming down into the intuitive side, right? It's like flowing, and there's some creativity. There's comfort in your creativity. There's comfort in your, I don't like to say the word power, but in who you are. So if you can sit in the comfort of that and see what you already have in your hand, acknowledge that this is here, that there's something almost protective of it, in the sense of this whole area from the higher heart, the throat, third eye, crown. This is where because you're on solid ground. This isn't coming toward you or anything. Does that help, hon?
Yeah, it's wonderful. I've gotten a renewed interest in working with the dolphins. That was something I did in the past, and And I've been doing a lot of those this last couple of weeks, and I think that fish probably would be about that. And
Yeah.
of course, the water would be about that. And I'm a Cancer. And so,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but look at that idea of you're already holding this gold cup and it's got this in it. Something's there you already have. You get to acknowledge.
What could that be?
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. It was so much fun to get to play together in our intuitive play day, and we'll have another one. And we'll definitely have to play with more of the cards. This was the one I wanted to share with you, and we'll do it another time. It's an old deck. I have no idea where you can even get it anymore. It's called the Secret Dakini Oracle. And it's got these it was made in the 60s, as you can tell, by an artist who did collages. So they're very unusual. This is one of my absolute favorite cards right here. Blow your mind. So, and they do relate to the tarot. This is the Tower card. Okay. Blow everything changing. And one thing that it's a kind of a intense deck. Okay. It's not a fairy deck. Let's just say it's not sometimes you have these beautiful oracle decks that everything you hear is nice and good. And sometimes you need that, right? This one is a bit more like a real tarot. It's got the hard truth in it and stuff. However, what I find really interesting is this was the one I was trying to see if I could find the similar one to the 3 of Cups that Oriana had. And I don't know, this just says 3. Scarlet Woman, I have no idea if it's related at all to that. However, what is interesting is it's based on feminine goddess energies. The Dakinis are feminine energies. So it says that there's a temple in Orissa, India. The temple contains stone carvings of the 64 Dakinis, ancient symbolic representations of female principles of intuitive wisdom. So we'll have to play with that in our intuitive play day. Okay, everybody, namaste. Have a beautiful day. I hope I see you soon in the intuition class or something else. And thank you so much. Make sure, and we're going to get this up onto YouTube, and make sure that the live streaming over there didn't work for some reason. So you share this if there's anybody else that's interested. And I love Donna, so go get her course. I think I'm going to get her course because I would love to learn more about that, specifically that deck. And I love the idea of it telling a story and talking to the person in it, because that's how I teach my clients, right? I'm like, let's take your doubt, make it a person. Hi, doubt girl, what's up? Let's talk. And there's a lot of information to be received that way. So, okay, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.